Things just went nuclear in hip-hop because Cardi B is blasting JT as Nicki Minaj's lapdog. And the tea spilling right now is insane. Cardi isn't just dragging JT for talking reckless, she's claiming Nicki is actually cutting checks for JT to take shots at her. Fans are convinced this is part of a bigger scheme, and the timing makes it all look shady as hell. It all kicked off when Cardi dropped her new album and slipped in a diss aimed straight at JT. Instead of brushing it off, JT came out swinging, not only firing back at Cardi, but also coming for her new man, Stefon Diggs. JT accused him of being secretly gay and even tied his name to an alleged assault case, and that lit the internet up instantly. Cardi wasted no time and clapped back with her own bombshell, saying JT is just out here doing Nicki's dirty work. Cardi's been saying this for years, and now she's claiming the whole attack was a setup to wreck her album release. And like clockwork, Nicki suddenly announced her album drop date right after all the chaos. So is Cardi telling the truth about Nicki plotting to sabotage her? And what's JT really getting out of this deal? Now, to be fair, JT had a reason to snap because Cardi really did diss her on the album, and she did not hold back one bit. On the track Magnus, Cardi threw heavy shots. You a shady B, you betrayed since birth. Mama didn't want you, Brenda's baby, bottom feeder B, all that D riding, still ain't got no feature B. She just messy, she got a ninja, she be sharing bags with my ninja cheat. The bars kept going, clowning JT for not getting a Nicki feature despite writing for her for years, and even dragging her man Lil Uzi Vert with rumors about him being on the DL. So yeah, JT was heated. But instead of reacting right away, she waited for the perfect moment to clap back and make maximum noise. That moment came when a post resurfaced about Cardi's new baby daddy, Stefon Diggs, allegedly being on the DL and linked to some messy drama. Chris Griffin, a stylist, had already claimed earlier this year that Stefon tried to push up on him about a year ago. Then Chris dropped a shocking video that had everybody talking. Footage showing him ambushed in an elevator by 3 men. The wild part? One of those men was revealed to be Diaz Diggs, Stefon's own brother. Once fans connected Diaz to Stefon, the speculation got crazy. People started questioning what's really going on in Stefon's world behind closed doors. And then it got darker. In a new video, Chris alleged that Stefon actually tried to take him out after he rejected his advances.
He attempted to have me unalived because of him making pass at me. It wasn't the pass that frustrated me the most. What made me most frustrated was the fact that he tried to unalive me after it, when in reality, even though I was violated, I never thought that the next step would be my life being threatened because you got turned down. But it's that power complex of wanting what you want when you want it, feeling like you own the things that you pay.
Well, JT jumped straight into the chaos, and the way she moved had the internet spinning. She called it nuts and sad, reminding everyone that gay people should be protected, but she felt nobody was taking this serious enough. Then she dropped a bomb, claiming Cardi B's baby father was gay, not because of how he dressed or acted, but because Chris himself supposedly said it. JT doubled down, saying, "For Chris, I stand with big gays," and then went off tagging everybody from CNN to Donald Trump and even Mexico for some wild reason. The timeline was in flames. Of course, the internet clapped back with one of those "this you" moments, posting pics of Lil Uzi rocking dresses and holding a pink purse. JT didn't fold though. She shot right back saying, yes, that's her man, but he minds his business, works hard, takes care of his family, inspires his generation, and most importantly, doesn't snatch wigs off stylists. She made it clear that's what makes him Lil Uzi. Then things got even spicier when someone asked if she was dropping a diss track against Cardi. Instead of answering, JT just posted a snippet of Cardi rapping, and let's just say, the clip wasn't flattering at all.
When the baby run away, dirty foot, backdoor ass, hit on your friend. See her going through it, you see her going through it in life, and put her on blast on social media. You are hating, ungrateful.
Now that's usually how songs start, but this time it was pure chaos. Cardi finally clapped back at JT, and she didn't just talk, she brought receipts. Cardi somehow got her hands on screenshots of JT and Lil Uzi's private convos, and let me tell you, their relationship looks way more toxic than JT ever lets on. JT is always screaming, my man, like she's living a fairy tale, but those leaked texts showed something else entirely. In one message, JT told Uzi, I don't want to come up there sick and moody, then you get mad and curse me out, then I beat you up, it's too much. And Uzi replied, I want you because I invited you. JT fired back saying she had to work and that she'd come after Miami. If we still like each other by then Uzi hit her with, "You think I ever been through this? Be honest, I love this issue. You love me." But JT wasn't letting him have the last word. She clowned him, saying, "You retarded. You make me evil. I don't act like this." And then Uzi dropped a bombshell of his own. "You mad at me? Yeah, but it's just because you pregnant, so it makes you even more moody." That wasn't all. Cardi also leaked more texts where JT was spiraling over Uzi still being into his ex, Brittany Renner, and how it drove her crazy. The drama was already wild, but the real gag came with Cardi's caption. She wrote, "I want justice for them babies, and man make you remove every time. Ask what he told me about how he felt when he wanted to see Bree in that courtroom and she didn't show up. Or do I need to play the audio? And don't let me say what he was saying about Roc Nation." Fans were screaming. Cardi made it clear she had the tea and wasn't afraid to spill it all. But Cardi wasn't done shaking the table. She also hinted that JT only dissed her because Nicki Minaj told her to. And fans started connecting the dots because the timing was sus. Cardi's song had been out for almost a week before JT suddenly decided to respond. And guess what? Right as the feud was peaking, Nicki dropped a tweet with her new album date, March 27th, 2026. Now fans are convinced Nicki had JT stirring the pot just to build hype for her project, and honestly, it kinda worked. Here's the kicker though. This ain't even the first time Cardi accused Nicki of sending JT to do her dirty work. Back in 2022, when Glorilla's song with Cardi Tomorrow 2 smashed into the Billboard Hot 100 Top 10, drama sparked all over again. Someone threw shade at JT saying, "JT, Akbar, and Katie bans after seeing Glorilla get a top 10 hit without doing all the D-writing and extra stuff." JT clapped back, "I'm not like that at all. I've been doing remixes and never got credit on a chart, but they get sung word for word and help push the original songs as intended. Congratulations, Glow, and stream FNF Remix and Queen Mix." But here's the problem. JT didn't congratulate Cardi. That silence got people heated, and many assumed she was shading Cardi just to prove her loyalty to Nicki's team. And now, with this latest round of drama, the cycle feels all too familiar. Somebody jumped in saying, "Girl, this one tickled you, not congrats, Glow. You know you can't mention Cardi or your master will get the whip." And JT fired back, "Nah, the tweet was too long. Plus, Cardi been having top 10s and I've been congratulating her for years. This is Glow's first one. I've been ignoring y'all, but y'all are annoying as hell." Then she snapped, "Move around and get off my deep." Thank you. Cardi wasted no time throwing shade right back at JT, calling her goof fetch and map dog. JT wasn't about to let that slide, and she clapped back, "I hope you don't think you some bully wiener dog." JT then doubled down at Cardi's fetch tweet saying, "Cardi, you go fetch your real talent. We DMing, so why you coming back here to put on a show for these kids?" Cardi wasn't having it and replied, "So wait, me and you talking in the DMs, woman to woman, but you bringing it to your timeline and throwing shots? Calling me a boo and a wiener? Why you acting dumb?" JT shot back, "That was before you replied and said you was talking about me. So tell the world why you said I'm a lapdog, Cardi." Cardi responded, "Didn't I hit you back in the DM 20 minutes ago? But I gotta come on the timeline for a response? And you mute, but steady arguing here. Like I said, this is just a show. Opportunist." See, one thing about Cardi and her internet fights is she's always quick to accuse the other person of using her name for clout. She'll say they're chasing fame or pushing a new song off her back. And honestly, sometimes she's not wrong. JT seemed to calm down and tried to reason, saying, "Maybe our timing was off, but how am I an opportunist? You call me a lapdog for no reason. Make it make sense. Back to the DMs I go." But Cardi was still swinging. She hit back with, "If the shoe fits, that's your fault. The DMs are getting way more personal than this mess, so I'ma stop it right here. Twitter, you're welcome for the show." Everyone thought that was the end. But Cardi added, "Matter of fact, I'm not even doing this on the timeline no more. It's getting repetitive over doggy treats. We already addressing it in the DMs. Goodbye, y'all." That only lit JT up all over again. She fired back, "Waves, I'm back for this last tweet, cause who's doing anything for doggy treats? If anything, Glorilla gave you a bone, you need to go feed to that dog. You was posing by the pool for Hottish fancy pants." Cardi clapped back one last time saying, "Hottish debuted higher than any song you ever dropped, been on prison pants. Everybody gets a good moment and a bad one, but you ain't had a hit since Act Up. Now you just here for content. T was sentenced to 2 years behind bars in 2018 for identity theft and fraud, finally walking free in March 2020. So when Cardi called her prison pens, that's exactly what she was hinting at. But what's wild is Cardi throwing shade about JT's time inside, when Cardi's own record isn't squeaky clean either. She's openly admitted to drugging men and taking their money back in the day, and she even got accused of setting up 2 women to be jumped because of her husband's infidelity. JT fired back, saying the day was supposed to be about Glorilla's win, not Cardi calling her a lapdog. She clapped back with, nah, being, I'm gonna be a big dog, roof child is barking for me. And when Cardi tried to drag her for her prison pens past, JT flipped it on its head and owned it. She said, wish I would have never let a chart make me feel less of a star. I literally came from nothing. Did this ish with rap, and I rode on the road with hitting licks. I did my time like a real B, and a B ain't scratch me in there. And always for extra chicken on Thursdays, I ain't never shame. That's when fans started clocking that Nicki Minaj might be behind the drama yet again. Comments started popping up like, Nicki put you up to this, and JT lost it, replying, no, 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 and no again. See, y'all wanna know so bad and be wrong. I don't gossip with her about nobody. All this because of fan pages. But the narrative was already running wild. People started dragging JT, saying things like, JT stay coming for Cardi to impress Nicki and Cardi eats her up every time. And it's messy for real because one of the reasons City Girls stayed afloat while JT was locked up was their smash twerk with Cardi B. Fans are now accusing JT of biting the hand that fed you, while noticing how she didn't respond to Cardi until Nicki came back to Twitter, and suddenly she's posting Nicki's music on her story. Cardi calling her a lapdog is hitting harder now than ever. At this point, everyone's side-eyeing JT, wondering if she's really fighting her own battles or just running plays for Nicki. Because if Cardi's right, this isn't just Cardi versus JT, it's Cardi versus an entire machine. And that's the real gag, because JT could be sacrificing her own credibility just to keep Nicki's spotlight burning bright. The only question left is how far Nicki's willing to push this war, and whether JT can survive being caught in the crossfire.